Another popular HTML control is the checkbox, and we're going to take a look at working with PHP and checkboxes in Ajax now. And here is an example, PHP checkboxes.html. It asks us, do you want cache back? There's two checkboxes, yes and no. And a submit button, and we're going to say yes, we do want cache back. And you click the submit button, that information checkbox will be sent to a PHP script, php checkboxes.php, and the result displayed, it's going to decode which checkbox we've checked and display the results like this. You checked yes. This is php checkboxes.php. Okay, so the original page was php checkboxes.html. This is the PHP script that goes along with that, and as you see, accurately determined that we checked the yes checkbox. Let's take a look at the HTML page first, and here you have the question, do you want cache back? And this is inside an HTML form, method equals post. The action, which determines where the data will be sent, is php checkboxes.php, and that is going to handle the data sent to it from this form. So we're going to have a checkbox, which you create with an input tag, name equals check1, type equals checkbox to create a checkbox, and value equals yes, that's the data that will actually be sent to the server, and gets the caption yes as well. And the second checkbox, also type equals checkbox, and the value equals no, that's the second checkbox, has the value no, and also the caption no. So then the user checks one of the checkboxes and clicks the submit button to send the data on up to the PHP script, which looks like this. Now this is the PHP script, and it has the caption. It starts off with the text you checked, and then we've got to determine the value of the checkbox that was actually checked, and that looks like this. I'm going to take a little bit of explaining the PHP section here, because you see that while we're using the $_request array, and that array, as you know, lets you retrieve data sent under various parameter names from the web page to your PHP script, and $_request lets you extract data that was sent to you, whether or not it was sent by the get or the post method, so it's a very general array. And here's the key though, say if is set $request check1. Why do we do that? Because it's theoretically possible that the user didn't check either checkbox before clicking the submit button, and they both start off unchecked. And so if the user hasn't checked either checkbox, then it would give you an error. Somebody say echo $request check1, because that's null, that doesn't exist, and so echoing it will give you an error, and so you'd see an error in the web page. You first have to check whether or not it is set. So if set $request check1, then you know that it's not null. The user did check this particular checkbox, and you can echo the value of that checkbox, which in that case for check1 is yes. It's the value of the checkbox is yes. The value of the second checkbox is no. And in that case, if is set $_request check2, then you can echo the value of the check2 checkbox that was checked, and that's going to be no. So this is the way it works. You have to provide for the case where the user hasn't checked either checkbox, and which would give you an error if you try to echo this expression to the web page. So you first check whether or not that data is set. So if you ever end up working with controls with PHP, HTML controls, and you're ending up with errors, one of the things to check is whether or not you have first determined if the control actually had data sent to the PHP page. You can do that with the isSet function, as you see here. Very nice.